Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Look at the sentence. العصفور, the bird, يطير في البستان. The bird is flying in the garden. Okay. When you look at the sentence, you need to first of all decide what you think the fi'l, what the mubtada and the khabar will be, or the fi'l and the fa'il. So al-usfur is a bird, or the bird, and what's it doing? يطير في البستان. So see, you're giving a khabar, you're giving news about the bird, aren't you? So here you say, so we can say that this is the mubtada and this is the khabar. Okay. Then, because we've decided that asfur is the mubtada, you can write this down when you do the tarkib of mubtada. Yatiru. When you get a fi'l, fi'ls are easy in tarkib. All you have to do is just say fi'l. If it's a certain type of fi'l, like for example fi'l naqis or fi'l madh and dham, then you'll have to mention what they are. So here yatiru is not a fi'l naqis, so you can just call this a normal fi'l. Okay, a fi'l. Right. Now each fi'l has a fa'il. So here, because we can't see it in the words, we'll have to presume that it's the huwa, because this is wahid min al-ghaib. So fi'l and fa'il. So fi is harf jar, so you can call it jar or jar, whichever one you want. Bustan, majroor. The word after that jar will always be majroor. Okay, and jar majroor always combine to become our mutalliq. Okay, that's just the way that jar majroor and zarfs, for that matter, work. Okay, jar majroor mutalliq means latched onto something. See, that's just the way they are. They need to be hanging onto something, because if you look at the actual meaning of just fil bustan and things like jar majroor, the meaning isn't really a strong meaning. It's always going to be joint to something. Yeah, it always has to rely on something else. Okay, so jar majroor is the muta'alliq, and it has to rely on something, has to be latched onto something. What are those things that it can be latched onto? Well, they are fi'l, masdar, ism fa'il, ism maf'ul. Okay, ism maf'ul, like the word mawjudun, yeah, mansurun. Ism fa'il, like thabitun, or you can say, ism fa'il like the word mukrimun, depending on which bab it's from. Mukrimun. Okay, they're all ism fa'ils. Ism tabdeel, like the word afdalu. Afdalu, ism tabdeel, when you're comparing one thing to another. And sifa mushabbaha, like the word kareemun. Like the word kareemun. Okay, right. So jar majroor, in their very nature, have to be linked onto something. Always. They will always be linked onto something. Okay. So jar majroor, in this particular example, we can say safely that there's a fi'l here. Yatiru is the fi'l. So we can link this muta'alliq onto the fi'l and the fa'il, and they'll all combine to become jumla fi'liya khabariya. And then the jumla fi'liya khabariya becomes the khabar. And that's what we looked at the beginning. This khabar here and the mubtada. If we look at the meaning, it gives you a mubtada khabar kind of meaning. So, yeah, one thing, the main thing in the subject is the mubtada, and then you're giving a khabar about it. And the jumla, and the mubtada and khabar become a jumla ismiya khabariya. Okay, so that's that. So, there's a sentence within the sentence. Okay. Okay. Right. A sentence. One more thing. Another thing I should say to take into account is, what can a sentence be? What can it comprise of? What can it be made of? Okay, so a jumla can be made of a fi'l and an ism, and the ism will be the fa'il in that case. Okay, and a sentence can also be made of an ism and an ism, okay, which is what we call the jumla ismiya khabariya. Yes, in which case this is the mubtada and this is the khabar. Okay, it can also be made of ism and then a fi'l and an ism. Okay, can you see this sentence? This sentence was, we'll do that afterwards. Fi'l and an ism, which was the fa'il. So this is a jumla fi'liya khabariya, but then is the khabar of this mubtada. Okay, a sentence can also be made of ism and then a ism and a ism. So that's a mubtada and that's a khabar. Okay, and then that combines to become a jumla ismiya khabariya and becomes the khabar of this mubtada. Okay, yeah, does that make sense? You could also do this, that you can have a sentence mubtada and a khabar. Now within this mubtada, okay, within this khabar I should say, you've got ism, that would be our first mubtada, and then you have another ism and an ism. Okay, or you can have an ism and the fi'l and fa'il. Okay, yeah, you can close that bracket up there. That can close up there. That will be like another mubtada, and this will be another khabar, or this will be the mubtada, and then this will be our khabar. Okay, yeah, ism is the mubtada. Okay, so you can have sentence within the sentence and then another sentence within that. Okay, does that make sense? This ism. Okay, let's look at that again. So either you have a fi'l and an ism makes a sentence. An ism and an ism, mubtada khabar, makes a sentence. Then you can have an ism here. Look, these two are together. Sorry. These two are together. To start off with the mubtada. No, sorry, wrong one. It's these two. Ism and ism, and then a fi'l and a ism is the khabar, and here the ism and ism is the khabar. Okay, this example that we done just here, العصفور يطير في البستان, that's like an example of this one here. Okay, and then within this ism and ism we can have another ism and ism and an ism. See, they can get smaller and smaller and you can carry on. Okay, and then the same thing what you can do is you can just put Ghana on all of these fi'ls. Okay, you wouldn't put Ghana on this one. You can put Ghana on this one. You can put Ghana on all of them. You can put Inna on them. Okay, you can't put Inna on this one. You can't put Inna on the first one, but the rest you can put Inna as well. Ghana and Inna. It's exactly the same. Okay,